Story 1, The Whistler of Sika Hollow. Urban legend, the whistling spirit of the forest. In the dense, whispering pines of South Dakota, there's a place where the air is always a few degrees colder. Where the soil, unnaturally red, stains your boots with a rust you can never quite scrub off. And where, if you listen closely, you might hear whistling. But it's never from a person. Not anymore. This is the legend of the Whistler of Sika Hollow, one of the most chilling stories to seep from the forgotten corners of Native American folklore, and one that continues to echo through the pines to this day. Sika Hollow, pronounced Shicha, means evil or bad in the Dakota language. The place earned its name long before European settlers ever set foot in the region. According to tribal stories, the land was cursed. Red water seeped from the hills, and strange lights danced above the forest at night. Animals acted unnatural. Some claimed deer would watch them too long, standing on hind legs before vanishing into thin air. But it was the whistling that truly unsettled those who entered. The sound always came from behind you. No matter which way you turned. A low, melodic whistle, almost like someone trying to mimic a tune they half remembered. The tune changed, but the feeling didn't. It always felt wrong. Too deliberate. Too human, and yet, not. In 1997, a college student named Casey Marlin documented a camping trip with two friends inside Sika Hollow. He never published his notes. They were found years later by his sister after Casey stopped speaking entirely. "We heard the whistle again last night. Josh swears it's just wind, but he couldn't look me in the eye. It's not the wind. It moves when we move. It stops when we stop. And last night, I swear it was mimicking Josh's laugh. Not perfectly. Like someone trying to remember how to sound like him." The group had wandered too deep, following an unmarked trail they thought would loop back to the ranger station. It didn't. They were lost for 3 days. On the second night, they claimed something began walking outside their tent, light steps, circling, stopping when they moved. And the whistling grew louder. "It's right outside. I heard it breathing. Not fast, just slow. Calm. I held my breath, and it did too. It knows when we're awake." Josh tried to scream but nothing came out. And when I finally opened the tent, nothing. But our firewood was stacked in a neat little pyramid. They found the trailhead on the third day. But Josh, who had whistled back as a joke, refused to speak ever again. He stared blankly at trees, as if waiting for something to reappear. Local Dakota lore speaks of a spirit of mimicry, a forest entity that watches travelers, learning their voices, their laughter, their routines. It doesn't show itself. It doesn't touch you. Not unless you whistle. To whistle in Sika Hollow is said to invite the spirit in. You acknowledge its presence, and it never forgets your sound. Ranger Maria Holden, now retired, once gave a chilling interview in 2008, "I've worked forests all over the Midwest. But I only ever saw a place fight back in Sika Hollow. We'd rope off paths and they'd reappear overnight. I found two hikers wandering in circles 5 miles from where they started. They said they were following the sound of my voice calling them, except I was in the ranger station the whole time." In 2016, a GoPro video surfaced online, uploaded anonymously and quickly taken down. It's mostly static and blurry night shots. But one part, just 4 seconds long, gave viewers chills. The camera shows a hiker's POV, panning through a dense thicket. From the left, a slow whistle echoes. Then, faintly, a voice. "Matt. Matt, come back. The hiker whispers, that's not Rachel. She's right behind me. The camera spins. A woman stands behind him, confused. But the voice calls again from deeper in the woods. The same words. The same tone. The same exact inflection. And then the whistle again. The screen cuts to black. Today, Sitka Hollow remains open to the public, though warnings are posted at the entrance trail: do not whistle. Do not respond to voices. Stay on marked paths. Every year, a few visitors report strange things, echoes of their own laughter in the trees, footsteps that mirror theirs, or cold spots in the heat of summer. Some chalk it up to paranoia, the power of suggestion, or clever pranks. But for those who know the story, who've heard the mimicry for themselves, they know the truth: there's something in those woods that listens. And if you whistle, it might just learn your voice. Sitka Hollow may be just another park to some, but for those who've wandered too far, it becomes something else entirely. A place where the woods remember you. Not by your name, but by your sound. Story 2, The Red-Eyed Hitchhiker of Route 44. Urban legend, the phantom hitchhiker with glowing eyes. There's a stretch of asphalt in Massachusetts that many avoid once the sun sets. Locals call it cursed. Truckers call it haunted. And those who've driven it at night, they don't always come back the same. This is Route 44. And its most feared traveler isn't driving. He's standing by the side of the road. Waiting. Smiling. And his eyes glow red. This is the urban legend of the red-eyed hitchhiker of Route 44, a tale that has turned a simple highway into one of America's most unsettling drives. Route 44 cuts through forest and farmland, stretching from Rehoboth to Seekonk. At first glance, it's like any other rural road, quiet, peaceful, almost comforting. But that comfort doesn't last. Strange things happen here. Drivers report radios crackling with static just past mile marker 27. GPS systems lose signal. Time bends. A 5-minute drive stretches into 15. Some describe a sensation of being watched through the rearview mirror, yet there's no one there. And then, they see him. A man in outdated clothes. Plaid shirt. Slacks. Work boots, standing on the shoulder just past a sharp bend. He never waves. He never thumbs for a ride. He just stares, smiling. And his eyes, unnatural. Glowing, even in full daylight. In 2003, a police officer named Derek Holm filed a bizarre report after a near collision on Route 44. It wasn't the event itself that disturbed him, it was what happened afterward. I saw the guy too late. He was just standing there in the middle of the road. No reflective clothing. No movement. Just staring at my cruiser like he was daring me to hit him. Holmes slammed the brakes, but his vehicle passed through, nothing. No impact. No body. No sound. Just empty road and swirling mist. But it didn't end there. I drove another mile. Then suddenly, my back seat lights flipped on by themselves. And I heard someone whisper, "You shouldn't have stopped." I pulled over. No one was in the car. But my dashcam caught something. A shape. Sitting behind me for less than a second. Then gone. The footage was inconclusive. The department shelved the report. But Officer Holm resigned 2 months later and moved to Arizona. He has never driven at night since. Legends about Route 44 date back to the 1960s, though older stories suggest the area was cursed long before the road was paved. Wampanoag tribal lore tells of a spirit walker, a restless soul bound to the land, seeking recognition, revenge, or something darker. Some say he was a murdered drifter. Others believe he's a mirror, reflecting the guilt of those who drive past without helping. But the most consistent detail? His eyes. Always red. Not glowing like a flashlight, but burning. Like coals at the bottom of a dying fire. Witnesses often describe a feeling of being drained after encountering him. Tired. Depressed. Disoriented. Some fall asleep at the wheel. Some crash. And some simply vanish. In 2018, a young couple, Jamie and Eliza Brown, posted dashcam footage from a nighttime drive along Route 44. They were documenting haunted road trips for their travel blog. The video was lighthearted at first. Laughter. Commentary. But then, silence. At timestamp 17 minutes and 48 seconds, Eliza mutters, "Is that a person?" The camera catches a glimpse, a man standing on the roadside, back turned, hands by his sides. Jamie slows the car. "Should we check on him?" Eliza shakes her head. "No, don't stop." As they pass, the man's head turns, slowly, revealing a wide, unnatural grin. His eyes are like two embers glowing in the dark. And then the radio cuts out. Eliza gasps. She clutches her ears. The audio becomes warped, as if underwater. They scream. The video cuts to static. The couple was found 3 towns away, their car parked neatly in a gas station. They had no memory of the previous hour. Just a vague recollection of a smile they couldn't forget. In 2018, a young couple, Jamie and Eliza Brown, posted dashcam footage from a nighttime drive along Route 44. They were documenting haunted road trips for their travel blog. The video was lighthearted at first. Laughter. Commentary. But then, silence. At timestamp 17 minutes and 48 seconds, Eliza mutters, "Is that a person?" The camera catches a glimpse, a man standing on the roadside, back turned, hands by his sides. Jamie slows the car. "Should we check on him?" Eliza shakes her head. "No, don't stop." As they pass, the man's head turns, slowly, revealing a wide, unnatural grin. His eyes are like two embers glowing in the dark. And then the radio cuts out. Eliza gasps. She clutches her ears. The audio becomes warped, as if underwater. They scream. The video cuts to static. The couple was found 3 towns away, their car parked neatly in a gas station. They had no memory of the previous hour. Just a vague recollection of a smile they couldn't forget. He's not just a myth. He's a memory, burned into the road. And he's still out there, smiling, waiting, watching. The red-eyed hitchhiker of Route 44. Story 3, The Basement Door in Room 371. Urban legend, the room that was never supposed to exist. At the edge of Shawnee National Forest, hidden by dense trees and crumbling stone, sits the Halpine Grand Hotel, or what's left of it. Once a symbol of luxury, now a monument to decay. The locals don't go near it. And they all warn the same thing. Don't stay in room 371. But here's the thing. Room 371 doesn't exist on the blueprints. And yet, everyone who's been inside the hotel knows they saw it. They walked by it. Some, against every instinct, opened the door. And none of them came back the same. This is the legend of the basement door in room 371. The Halpine Grand was built in 1912, a 5-story retreat for wealthy travelers looking to escape city life. Marble floors, chandeliers, a grand ballroom. But in 1943, a fire swept through the West Wing, killing 11 guests and a night porter. The hotel closed permanently a year later. Officially, it was abandoned due to financial ruin. Unofficially, locals whisper that something never left after that fire. In the decades since, thrill seekers, ghost hunters, and urban explorers have tried to spend the night there. Few make it till morning. Those who do often leave with strange injuries, memory gaps, or whispers they claim were not imagined. But the strangest stories all circle one place, room 371, on the 3rd floor, West Wing. It shouldn't be there. No floor plan lists it. The hallway ends at room 370. And yet, sometimes, there's a door beyond it. And behind that door, a staircase going down. In October of 2015, 4 students from a local university's paranormal club entered the Halpine Grand for a Halloween investigation. They live-streamed their exploration on social media. Most of the video is mundane: creaking floors, broken furniture, fake scares. But at 2:13 a.m. the feed captures something chilling. The group reaches the 3rd floor. One of the students, Rachel, points her flashlight toward the end of the hall. She whispers, "There's a door past 370. The others laugh, assuming it's a janitor's closet or boarded wing. They approach. The door is old. Faded brass numbers, 371. It shouldn't exist. Rachel opens it. There's no room, just a narrow staircase leading down, built from stone instead of wood, descending deeper than the building's foundation should allow. The group debates going in. They hear a sound, soft breathing. From below. Only Rachel steps in. She takes 3 steps down before the door slams shut behind her. Her screams are heard for 13 seconds. Then nothing. The door can't be opened. When authorities arrive, the door is gone. The hallway ends at room 370. Just like it should. Rachel was never found. Local historians found a chilling detail in the hotel's past. The 1943 fire was not a fire at all, but a cover story. The 11 guests who died were found locked in a lower level not recorded on any blueprint. Their bodies had no burns. Only expressions of absolute terror. And the night porter? His body was never recovered. But according to old journals, he often complained about hearing things from under the floor. He once wrote, "Room 371 is the only door that stays cold in the summer." And last week, I saw a hand come out of the keyhole. Whatever was behind that door, it wasn't part of the hotel. It wasn't meant to be found. And it certainly wasn't meant to be entered. In 2019, a former librarian named Harold Burke, fascinated by the Halpine mystery, decided to stay one night in the ruins. He brought notebooks, a digital recorder, and a single lantern. The last entry in his journal was dated March 2, 10:47 p.m., found the hallway. Odd, 371 isn't always there. It flickers. Like bad film. But when you look away and back again, it's real. Doors cold to the touch. Something's behind it. Breathing. I'll go inside at midnight. Harold was never seen again. But his recorder was recovered. At exactly midnight, it begins to play an eerie, rhythmic thudding, like someone descending steps. Then, static. Then whispering. One phrase repeats, impossibly layered, many voices at once. Down is not below. Down is behind. The recording cuts off. Urban explorers who enter the hotel today report a strange phenomenon. They say sometimes, you can hear tapping under your feet. Other times, you hear it from the ceiling. As if the building's layout doesn't obey physics anymore. And room 371. Sometimes it's there. Sometimes it isn't. Some claim it appears in photographs only after you leave. Others say once you see it, it sees you back. And if you open the door, you'll hear the breathing. You'll feel the cold. And the steps. They'll go on forever. The truth is, the basement under room 371 doesn't lead to another floor. It leads somewhere else. Somewhere older than the hotel. Older than the land. And once it knows your name, it doesn't let go. You can board up a building. You can erase it from maps. But some doors don't care about locks. Some rooms exist because they're meant to trap, not shelter. And if you ever find yourself standing outside room 371, turn around. Walk away. And don't look back.